Hello, this is Vondersmoot, and today we'll be making cheese soufflé the way we like it. This is an adaptation from the Fannie Farmer Cookbook, 11th edition, from 1965. The first thing you'll want to do is check to make sure that the oven is empty. After all, cooking should be fun, but never exciting. And once you've done that, you'll want to preheat the oven to 325 Fahrenheit, 163 Celsius, or gas mark free if you're watching this from the old country. This recipe serves 4 or 2 American. Soufflés have an undeserved reputation for being difficult and finicky to make. The reality is that they are fairly forgiving, and the ingredients are not all that expensive, so even if you do make a mistake, it's not going to be the end of the world. If you can scramble eggs or make a sausage gravy, then you can make a soufflé. For this dish, you'll need a 1/4 cup butter, 1/4 cup flour, a cup of milk, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne, 1 cup grated cheese, we used sharp cheddar, 4 egg yolks, 5 egg whites, and 1 teaspoon of sugar. Begin by melting the butter over a low heat in a large saucepan. Once the butter is fully melted, add flour and whisk for a few minutes to remove the raw flavor of the flour and impart a slight nutty taste to the dish. Later in the video, you'll see me using welding gloves to handle the baking dish. I have found that welding gloves are an excellent option when working with hot items in the kitchen. They are superior to oven mitts, hot pads, and towels. They offer greater dexterity, heat resistance, and they can't be beat when baking bread. Plus, you can always buy them in girly colors, so they're less likely to end up in the garage if that's a concern. Add the cold milk a little at a time and whisk until smooth. At first, the mixture will clump up, but as you add more of the milk and continue to whisk, it will become smooth and take on the texture of a thick gravy. One of the nice things about soufflés is that you can have the ingredients ready in advance and the actual preparation doesn't take long. About 45 minutes before your dinner is set to begin, turn on your oven and start preparing the dish. Add the salt and cayenne and mix those in. Then stir in the cheese a handful at a time, allowing it to melt a little bit before adding another handful. If this is a relaxed meal with conversation, begin your dinner about 15 to 20 minutes after the soufflé goes in the oven. If you're afraid your dinner guests might eat the silverware, corral the little beast about 25 to 30 minutes after the soufflé goes in. Your soufflé will be ready to serve soon after people have finished the first course. Once the cheese is fully incorporated, turn off the heat and stir in the egg yolks. Continue to stir the custard until the texture has become smooth, light, and it has cooled. Transfer the custard to a glass bowl and set aside for later. The original recipe did not call for buttering the soufflé dish, but I thought I'd try it here because I'd seen some other recipes online that recommended it. I personally didn't notice any real difference, and so I would say that this is an optional step. Once your oven is up to temperature and you're ready to bake, combine the egg whites and the sugar into a mixing bowl and beat until the egg whites are stiff. Add a few tablespoons of the beaten egg whites into the custard and then stir those egg whites until they are fully incorporated. Fold the remainder of the egg whites into the custard and be sure not to overmix. When you're done folding in the egg whites, you should have a few spots of white amongst the custard. The goal is to keep as much air in the mixture as possible so you get the maximum rise when you put it in the oven. At this point, your mixture is going to be rather lumpy, and that's okay. Go ahead and transfer it into a 1.5 quart baking dish and immediately put it into the oven. Bake the soufflé for at least 30 minutes without opening up the oven door. You'll know it's ready when the top is firm and golden brown. I tend to let my soufflés go for about 45 minutes with our oven. That seems to work out well for us. When you're satisfied with how it's looking, go ahead and pull it from the oven and serve immediately. This is a very rich dish, and I would suggest serving it with a light brothy soup or a nice side salad with a vinaigrette, as we have done here. Regarding refreshments, this dish pairs nicely with a dry white wine, Pilsner beer, or ginger ale if you'll be operating heavy machinery after the meal. Soufflés are not difficult to make and they won't kill your wallet, so I hope you'll give them a try. Thank you for watching.